On the 2nd of May, London will vote for its fourth mayor. It was in 2000 that this position was created of London mayor, and Sadiq Khan is the third one and he's fighting for his third term. But amongst these 13 candidates is one person who's of Indian origin, Tarun Gulati. I'm with him here where the London Mayor office used to be City Hall and where Tarun wants the office to be shifted back. This is the quintessential London Bridge area and I'm here with Tarun Gulati. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
Thank
having
you.
me today.
Thank you very much, Tarun. Thank you for your time and I can take the liberty of calling you Tarun, is that
Most
okay?
certainly.
Thank you so much. Okay, so a city which is speaking more than 300 languages, has about 38, close to 38% people not been born here in the United Kingdom, and a very strong candidate in Sadiq Khan. You decided to go independent. How will you make a go of this?
Well, it's an excellent question. I mean, it would have been a very difficult task if Mr. Sadiq Khan was doing the job he should have been doing when he was elected, but he's brought London to a standstill. Security has never been worse. People are actually disappointed, and they elected him on his second term, and there's no other competitor on the fray, on the 13 on the ballot, who actually has the experience, the gravitas, and actually the ability to run a large budget like this, which I've been doing in my role as a banker, as a chairman, or whatever. So I believe an independent has won in the past. The first mayor was, and I believe it's my turn now.
Oh, indeed. So we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
But you do wear your Indian origins quite out and open, the fact that you are of Hindu origin as well. How would you then appeal to the other population?
Well, that's again a great question. There are over 270 diaspora communities that call London home. You alluded to the fact that 300 languages spoken. I've lived across the world and across continents, and I do believe when you take people along, the politicians have blurred the vision for London and for Londoners. I've always believed if you do the good thing, the right thing, it can be very simple. It's like banking. People think it's complex, but I made it simple for people. And it's the same. London is like a global bank, multi-dimensional, multicultural, diverse, and this is where you can make things happen. It's still the greatest financial center. And I want to make sure there are no excuses for Londoners. Create new funds, bring in the money even if the government is not providing all the funding. Bring down the council taxes, bring down the rates, make it the safest city in the world, make it green, digitally connected, where innovation and technology thrives. And that's what Londoners want today. They want it to be moving. It's the most congested city, slowest city. You'll be surprised. And once you have things moving, people are not looking over the shoulder in terms of safety and security. I want to make sure it's the safest city for all genders, particularly women. Or reopen police stations, create new booths so that it's cheaper to open new booths, see policemen on the beat, and actually measure their performance on a league table. Whatever gets measured in the business world gets done. So I want to make sure they're measured on their performance in terms of both preventive and indeed solving solutions for people. And that way you'll find the crime will come down, but actually most of the candidates are here, including what Mr. Khan is doing, what I would call very patchy. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Security is not about just opening police stations, doing these things. You've got to go to the root cause. Education, youth empowerment, youth education programs. People are, it's a mental thing. When you're living well, there's not enough affordable housing there. Not even an investment going into where people are living in social homes. Investment going to that. When people are happier, they're engaged, crime will not thrive. Nobody wants to be a criminal. So I want to make sure I go to the root causes, engage with the youth, education programs, training programs. That's how we'll eradicate it, in addition to what I've just alluded to.
Okay, brilliant. There's one thing that your manifesto that says that you make London better for students.
Yes.
But our Indian origin students and many other coming have faced huge amount of problems with finding even the 20-hour work. Nobody wants to give them that, and also location, and also possibly there is not enough for them here, and they still are coming. What is it that you would do as a London mayor for these students who come in big numbers from our country?
Well, let me first paint a picture of what I've been doing for the youth. I run a program called the 21st Century Icon Awards, which is all about the next gen. It's been going for 8 years. and finalists and winners have come from 44 countries. So I foster the youth, nurture the youth. It's not for profit. Again, I'm on the board and chairman of one of the world's largest startup foundations. So I want to make sure the youth have something to look forward to. Particularly when it comes to Indian students and Indians, we contribute a lot to the society, one of the largest employers here. We want to make sure employment, more flexible employment is available. What basically means is the students are also facing issues in terms of travel, safety.
Yeah. What is the solution that you are offering?
Yes, that's a good question again. So I want to make sure we reduce the cost of travel, particularly for students. There's already a discount available. I want to make it more cheaper for them and want to make sure they can move around. They shouldn't be worried about financing, so the bank should be providing them loans. They're also suffering in
foreign
terms of
students, you're talking.
foreign students, yes, foreign students, and also affordable housing. They don't have places to rent easily. So you've got to have accommodation which is close to their place of study. So that way they are getting the place to study, close to it. They're getting finance in terms of loans easier. They're getting to move cheaper so that they can focus on what they're coming here for, education. And indeed, look around London. It's a great city. If you look
Yes,
around
indeed, of
behind
course. But universities are already crumbling
Yes.
under the pressure, and if they do not have the funding available from the foreign students, they'll find it very hard. How would you find the funding?
Well, that's where a good banker comes in. I've been an investment banker at the highest level, including the chairman. I'll create funds. So I've actually decided to create an education fund, just as I've decided to create an affordable housing fund, impact investment fund. With funding basically means you're focused on aspects, and this makes things profitable. I want to engage with the council because regeneration programs and other things, there's brownfield land. When you bring in funding from outside, both parties gain, isn't it?
Okay.
So
you're creating funds and bringing
investment in.
investment
So
into
you make
London. I
sure
understand.
people, the government. There's always a budget, and Mr. Sadiq Khan, the current incumbent, says I haven't got enough funding. Well, that's not correct, but because he hasn't deployed it well. But even if there's a shortage or paucity of funds, you bring in money from outside, and you make sure it is deployed where it matters most for the students. There are 2.2 million people living in poverty here. 33% are children. So you make sure to deploy money wisely. People get good homes that they can call a home.
Okay. The other thing that I will allude to for the Indian origin issues, one of them have been, of course, the way the protests are carried out, especially the one which had the High Commission having suffered, and we still have to figure out who did it and bringing the person to justice. Similarly, there's a huge problem with the permissions to the protests. What is your view on such protests, specifically that of disruptive ones?
Well, when you allude to the Indian High Commission, I've been a very, very strong voice. If you listen to any of my interviews when I was in India, desecrating a flag, these people were not parachuted from somewhere. They've come in from somewhere. When you're coming in droves and in thousands, they should have been stopped. The current incumbent mayor was sitting on a fence on that. I think that sort of thing should not be allowed. Where it comes to peaceful protests, I think so long as they're peaceful, if it's for a just cause, people need the freedom of movement is as important, freedom of speech sometimes, so long as the expression is done in the right fashion for the right causes. And I think that sort of thing needs to be allowed, but so long as it doesn't do something what they did to the Indian High Commission, that should never be allowed. That would not happen under my watch.
Okay. Please tell me, what is it different that you would do from what's happening now? And also do tell me about the policing,
Yes.
which everyone has raised an issue about, London not being safe.
Well, London today, where safety is concerned, is at its lowest ebb. There have been over 1,000 murders since Mr. Khan took over. 21 teenagers, unfortunately, lost their lives last year. 18 of them to knife wounds. One life lost, one too many. That has to stop. Now that, as I was alluding to earlier, is all to do with getting the right sort of policemen, enough number of policemen. So I'm going to hire more policemen. I'm going to look at their compensation to make sure they're trained. I'm going to create new creative cells because it can't be a one-size-fits-all. So you're going to have knife crime dedicated cells, women dedicated cells. I want to make sure we protect all the genders, particularly the women. Youth are being exploited, so there needs to be control over that situation. I will reopen police stations, but crime is rising. Police stations have been shut down. So you reopen police stations, also create booths so that people actually know where to go immediately if they need help. And once you do that, you see policemen on the beat, you have control. Also, as I said, there are root causes. You need proper lighting, for instance. If it's dark, it encourages the wrong sort of behavior. Education programs. I'll refer to the fact that if you have good affordable housing, you bring in happiness, less of crime will be committed. Because the communities are divided today. I want to bring them together, singing from the same hymn sheet.
I get that. There is a lot of investment and the issue of funding which we won't so deeply go into at this point. But you are an Indian origin person.
Yes.
As I said, there are so many
Proud
other
of that.
people, of course, all of us are. What kind of response you're getting from, let's say, the native people who have been born here or from other countries? What has been the response?
Well, I think the response has been excellent. People are looking for change, and not only change, they see I can bring in transformational change. My family's been involved in public service over 3 centuries. They see that I carry the same ethos in terms of integrity and trust. I'm here only for the people, and when you work for the people, good comes out of it. So there's been excellent response worldwide.
Go on. What is it that you would like London, from your, London to look like? What do you want from London? What is not happening, and you would like people like Tarun to do?
Yeah, look, I think I think we're all looking forward to a safer London, a London where we can enjoy the spaces, where we can move about freely, where the people's voice is heard and it's implemented quickly. I think there's a huge amount of opportunity to make changes where the people can see London for what it is. It's a great city, and I think there's been some troubling kind of restrictions on the way that we enjoy the city, and there's a lot of changes, positive changes that we can see coming through. So yeah, we'll look forward to
Roddy, you have a word. We're going to bring safety to the city.
Yeah.
The fervor has never been seen before.
Yeah.
Congestion and traffic. We're going to make ULA's history 20 miles per hour will be gone. 156 hours at each person moving around, congestion, that has to stop. That's what's causing the pollution.
Yeah.
We make sure it's a safer city, greener city, and we make sure people are smiling.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Forward to seeing you in office. Good.
Has he answered all your ask, or you have something else to ask? You can ask him, he's here.
I think I've asked all my questions. I think Tarun knows the direction of travel. He listens to the voice of the people, and we're looking forward to having a representative that knows London and wants to see London do what it does best.
Grateful for your support. Like public.
Suppose you do become the Mayor of London, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
What is the first thing you'll do?
Well, firstly, I'm going to abolish this disaster policy of ULEZ totally. I'm also going to remove the 20 mile per hour limit, because this is what is causing congestion. In low traffic neighborhoods, I'm going to review them with an aim to removing them totally. And this congestion charge for weekends and holidays needs to go. I'm going to make sure we bring in the policing that this city needs. Security is at its lowest ebb. I want to make it very, very secure for all genders, particularly women. Open police stations, police booths, hire more policemen, review their compensation, because they need to get in the right sort of talent. Build affordable housing for people. That's what I'm going to think of from day one. I want to hit the ground running. I'm used to that. My training allows me to do that. I want to start from day one, thinking of the people, making sure I bring back the smiles on the faces of all Londoners.
Brilliant. Thank you so very much, and please do accept my apologies
Thank you so
for
much.
your mother having passed recently.
Thank
and
you.
That's a very strong and brave thing that
Thank
you're
you.
doing. Thank you so much. That was Tarun Gurati, one of the 13 candidates standing for the Mayor of London. London will go to vote to choose its 4th mayor on the 2nd of May. And what London, after having spoken to a lot of people, they really have emphasized on is safety of London. It remains to be seen who shall be chosen, but indeed the fight is now toughening up. Lavina Tandon for India Today from London.